Hey, Fox here. Today we have a video breaking down the newest Madden 18 trailer, something the community has been clamoring for, especially in the past week. Everybody's kind of been up in arms, not seeing anything from EA about 18, but finally we got some new game engine footage. As you see, it says down here, oh, my mouse might not be picking up, but you see the button on the screen. Also, you also see in this first screenshot, you see the buildings in the exterior part of the stadiums. They bragged quite a bit about that, so there you go. Something outside the game of football. They added some more graphics out here. So enjoy that. And let's take a listen. Maybe I'll mute the sound to it so that way you guys do not have any interference with my frankly terrible voice. All right. Onto the Seahawks Stadium. Fireworks. Shabam. The crowd's going wild. I mean, the crowds in Madden have always been pretty generic to me. I don't know if I haven't heard them brag about any work. So I would expect a similar crowd next year. We get these walkouts. Hopefully this is something we could skip in most years. It's kind of like a hype thing here for the trailer. Madden 18, we run past what's new. All right. First off, target passing is quite new. Left trigger is what you use to... let me roll this forward a little. There it is. Do you see how that... Oh, there we go. See how the X and the football right there is a little different? So you're controlling the football here with this orange, and the X is where your X receiver is going to be if you release it at that moment. Now, I don't know if the game engine probably will take throw power into account when they're doing this. Like, Tom Brady's got an okay arm for an old man. But, so X going to the post, throw it. Looks like it's a little bit behind him right now. So if you throw it late, I heard this is very difficult to master, the left trigger. And I've got a lot of talk about with this target passing. So sorry if I stay on the screen a little bit. We'll move forward because they're going to show a little bit back shoulder fades here with Jordy in a little bit. We can talk about that when it goes through. But as to this left trigger, I wonder, because left trigger is now target passing, I haven't seen anything for, you know, hot routing and move, like playmaker and receivers is what I'm trying to say. Like, what's the playmaker going to move to if left trigger is now target passing? And then with target passing, one of the things that I think you might be able to exploit next year, I remember in Madden 16 it was a huge route concept, a curl and a deep in route or something. Then you throw it to the in route and the curl would catch it by jumping up. So I think maybe you can high point these target passings. I think this might be a big deal because I think defenders, at least in 16 from my memory, I haven't really used it in 17 because the high point pass cheese is so much more effective. The defenders move to where the ball is thrown on the field, I'm guessing. So what you can do is maybe be like with a tall receiver, like a Moss or an Evans or something, point that to the back of the end zone so the defenders react to where the ball's going, but your receiver is going to jump up and catch it right away. So you can like high point cheese it that way, because I know you can high point cheese in an 18 with the LB and you point your stick up, and then you throw it low with LB and point your stick down, which is different than this year. This year those are two separate buttons. Next year you got to use your thumbstick in addition to LB to get high or low passes. So we'll see if that cheese next year. I heard this is very difficult. And as you can see, the trailer even had Tom Brady not being able to keep up with the X route, because you see in these last couple seconds here, watch Tom Brady. Oh, there it was perfect, and then the X went past his precision passing, so like it moved forward a little bit, moved quicker than Tom Brady could even track on the field. So it's going to be difficult. If you want to practice, Access Football is out right now in beta. You can practice your target passing. There it is, little spec catch, new target passing. They're showing that off. There's just showing the same thing, target again. So this is the B receiver, and there it is in the field. I don't know if like salary cap, if this should be on, because it kind of takes away from the skill gap. I don't know if they're gonna complain about this assisting players too much. But also from Twitter, Rex talked about this. You can change which receiver you're throwing to mid-play with this. I don't know how this can be able to be managed, but like I know you can do it pre-play by right trigger and selecting which receiver you want as your primary that's going to have this precision passing, so that way you know where it's going to go when you hold down left trigger to precision pass. What else do I have here? Oh yeah, colorblind. I worry that maybe colorblind people will have trouble with this, but Madden does have colorblind control, so I guess that's not that big of a deal. I just thought I'd make a note about that. Yeah, it's gonna be hard. All right, let's move on. So I said my piece about that. He was able to throw it past the defender. So watch how this defender reacts. Yeah. All right, so he was strafing and it just got behind the defender. That's cool. All right, moving on. More routes, more control. There's something that might be a big deal. Like, see how it's going to the back of the end zone here? And then he just Jordy just spec-handed, one hand caught it. So we'll see if back shoulder fades are a big deal with those tall receivers going up over Rhodes. And it looks like Xavier. All right, coach adjustments. Now, this is something I want to bring down. I talked about it in another video, and I was going to break it down, but I decided not to do a separate video on this. But let's go to coach adjustments, the one feature nobody's talking about, Madden 18. I'll put this link in the description, too, along with the trailer link to Shopmaster TV. So if you want to go look through what these coach adjustments actually are, you got the ball carrier. You can go balanced, which is ball carrier runs on normal gameplay settings, conservative, aggressive. You can do the blocking with the same thing. Deep pass catching, intermediate pass catching. These are all from EA Play, and this person was able to play it and then take notes on it. Toggle, auto flip, defensive play call. You can play the ball in air. Cornerbacks. I know if you go aggressive with some of these things, you start getting penalties, like on linemen. They talked about. So that's one way that you might actually get penalties. Increase the chance of a holding penalty if you go aggressive for linemen. So that's kind of a risk-reward type deal, and how much we're gonna have penalties in MUT. Fun. All right, play the ball in air, swap ball, play receiver. We'll see which one that goes. Maybe play ball will, I don't know, maybe play receiver will take out the whole high point cheese with the thing that I was talking about earlier, you know, with the target passing. Maybe the play receiver will help defend against that. Cornerback matchup. This is something everybody wanted for years, by overall, by speed, by height. So in the red zone, your tall 6'3" Sherman's going to go against their tall 6'4" Moss, which would be an interesting matchup. Fantasyland, I'm sure that's something that we'd all would love to see them both at their peak going at it. All right, route running, of course, and then depth chart. So there's the option defense, the pass rush, aggressive, strip ball. So if offside penalties versus a hard count, that'll be interesting next year for pass rushing. You might want to do more hard counts at that point, and then tackling, of course, aggressive. We want to get the hit stick fumbles. All right, next up, let's go back to the trailer here. Keep breaking it down. Coach adjustments, more strategy for those coach adjustments as they show off new mechanics. Wide receiver DB mechanics. Now, we haven't seen a ton about this wide receiver DB mechanics. I think it might have to do a little bit with MUT squads. We saw them revamp wide receiver DB mechanics in 16 with the aggressive catch, rat catch, possession catch, that kind of thing. But I know that because there's been hints about this during my interview with Jake Stein. He mentioned something near the line of scrimmage with wide receiver and defensive backs mechanics. So I think there might be some more interaction, like some more bump and run, and being a Josh Norman trying to defend against Odell. It's difficult for him in real life, and will be difficult. So that's kind of funny. I like how our last time we got wide receiver DB mechanics, they showed us the Odell catch, but this time because of community demand for SWAT. The SWAT is, in their mind, still powerful, still overwhelming for defenses. So your downfield passing attack, one-on-one, might still be pretty awesome. So cover zero might be the meta next year with their showing off SWATs. All right. New blocking and tackling mechanics. We see a cut block missed and jumped right over. And then Matt Ryan is staring down the barrel of a gun right here. So let's keep going through these blocking mechanics. I like that they're showing off the O-lineman. I like that weight might play a factor in this, just tearing down safeties. Because offensive linemen will dominate them, so we'll see how that plays into effect versus stats. You know, that's the big issue in Madden and MUT is the stats versus the weight and height and how they interact with each other. So we'll see if like a blitzing against a lineman, if these kind of pancakes happen in that kind of situation, because it really should happen. But you know, high block shed, high strength kind of plays a factor in it too. All right, so there's Von Miller tossing it down, but I mean that's Von Miller real life. We see this is a traditional block shed type. Disengagement on an offensive lineman. So this is something that we've seen in 17. They're just kind of hyping it for 18. This is kind of what I'm more excited about, this J.J. Watt push, not just because J.J. Watt's awesome, but because he's pushing the defensive lineman, and we see this new mechanic that they've talked about, this reach out and grab the quarterback mechanic. So that's something they bragged about it as a user. You can do this, reach out and grab ball carriers and quarterbacks. I'm not so sure what the issue if the CPU will also do this, but I like that this bull rush is happening. This doesn't happen much in 17. It happens from time to time if like a defensive lineman gets a shoulder of an offensive lineman, which just seems like this JJ does, but he's just kind of overwhelming the guard and maybe I can't really tell from here. So and then just grabbing Luck to bring him down. So that's something that's kind of, we'll see how it plays out. But I noticed, I think LJ said it might be tough for quarterbacks to scramble up the middle if his reach-out mechanic is natural for defensive linemen. Again, we'll see how well it's balanced in 18, but that's kind of cool. More hits. So there's Richard Sherman, Watt, new play styles, arcade. they're showing off the arcade, simulation, and competitive modes. As we know, we don't know what arcade mode will be in. I think it might just be Rex on Twitter said it's more exciting, bigger downfield passes, maybe aggressive catching, tuned up in arcade. But I don't think any head-to-head online features will be in arcade. Right now, competitive mode is MUT head-to-head online, salary cap online. I haven't heard anything from Draft Champions, but it'll probably be competitive mode if they're going to do tournaments off it again. And then simulation will be for, obviously connected franchise. And they're debating right now whether online head-to-head with like regular teams, or we call regs, between like guys that are actually on the rosters, will be simulation or competitive mode. So the competitive mode will be more user-based skill, but that's the end of the trailer. Let me know if you guys have any questions or noticed anything I didn't. They're going to come out with more blogs later today, so take a look at that. If you haven't seen a long shot, I did a breakdown of that trailer too. Available August 25th, but you can get it a couple days early, quote-unquote. They're delaying the actual game 3 days in order to make us pay some more money for the GOAT edition. All right. That is it. Also, EA Access, you can get it 5 days even before the GOAT edition. So really, this is launching August 17th for the majority of us. So tune in as we keep ramping into Madden 18. I'm excited. Are you guys hyped? I hope so. Let me know in the comments. Let's chat. Also, Discord. I got a Discord we can chat at frequently. I'll put that in the description too. All right. Thanks for watching. Call to action. I will see you tomorrow.